Let me tell you a story. Cheryl was going to college for nursing. Already a full-time medical assistant, when she got home from work, she was tired, but she needed to help her three children with a meal, homework. Her feet swollen, she would stroll into the kitchen, preparing the meal with her math textbook open on the counter. Eventually, she couldn't keep up with the classes, the job, the family. One night, Cheryl cried because she got an F on one of her exams. She told her boyfriend, I have to study. I can't keep falling asleep. Her boyfriend pushed the book and notebook lying across the bed and said, I have something that'll give you a boost. Even though it was hard to say no, she refused a few times before the exhaustion and the pressure got to her. That's how crack cocaine started unraveling Cheryl's life. Soon after her boyfriend was hitting her, she wasn't able to go to work due to the physical abuse. She dropped out of college, lost her apartment, and then ended up on the streets. That's how I imagine Cheryl's life before the streets. The truth is that it doesn't matter how she ended up on drugs on the street. This story, while fictional, is a collage of women experiencing homelessness. Hi, I'm Nirsada Rivera. I post videos about housing insecurity and other intersecting topics. If you're interested, please subscribe. Even though I never met Cheryl, I know a few bare details of her life from newspaper articles I've read throughout the years. On a dark night, she was approached by a man who offered her drugs to have sex with him in a cemetery. He beat, raped, burned her with gasoline in the cemetery across the street from where my mom used to live with my siblings. We used to play hide and go seek in that cemetery. I was 17 and on the streets myself. My boyfriend and I had been motel hopping for months. Sometimes we couldn't pay for the motel, so we strolled down the street during endless night. We interacted with people, like the men who killed Cheryl, like people like Cheryl, women like Cheryl. The morning Cheryl was found, I had just returned from a motel. The smell of her burned flesh filled North Miami Avenue for blocks. That smell ingrained itself in the hallways of the apartment complex, on my clothes and on my mind for years. She was the first warning of what can happen to a woman when she's experiencing homelessness. In 2022, almost 500,000 people were homeless. 38.3 of them, percent of 38.3% were women. The National Alliance to End Homelessness report that 18 in every 10,000 persons are experiencing homelessness. The way this is calculated is through a point in time count, PIT. Local organizations are called, and for specific numbers of days, they go out onto the street and approach the homeless population. They gather some basic information about the person if they agree. If the person doesn't agree, they don't get counted. This count doesn't include people struggling with other type of insecurity though. Back then, I was in a similar situation as Cheryl. After I broke up with an abusive partner, my son and I didn't have anywhere to live. My family was unable to help. For 4 years, my son and I couch surfed, motel hop, and slept in abandoned buildings, cars, and even on the street. Cheryl's faith and faith of other women out there that I met on the street scared the living shit out of me. I did a lot of shit to get out of homelessness. A safe home is the foundation of anything a person does in their life. If a person doesn't have a safe home, they can't focus on anything. When I was out there on the street, there was only one thought in my mind: I need to survive. Eventually, I got my first apartment and started a career in the affordable housing industry. That was back in the 90s, the late 90s. I know I'm showing my age, but ever since I've been working with the mission statement of doing my part to decrease homelessness, not only for myself, for other women, but to honor the memory of Cheryl, a woman I never met, but left a huge imprint in my life. Trying to avoid homelessness, I designed my 23-year career with the mentality that I would educate myself and others about housing security. And I did. I went to college. I got a graduate degree in public administration. I worked on the front line for years. I got to place many persons and families in shelters. I taught practical employability skills. I helped others get their first job, go to college, buy their first home. I also grew financially and got to use some of the same skills to advance in my life. But safe and affordable housing has always been difficult to maintain, even when I was working. The National Alliance to End Homelessness estimates that in 2021, 3.7 million people reported a form of housing insecurity. In December of 2022, the U.S. Census reported that over 40% of renters in the country spend more than 30% of their income on housing costs. That's 19 million people. In all these years working as a housing professional, one question has always bothered me. Why is it hard to access affordable housing in the United States? And there are several reasons. That's why I set out to explore in this channel. For many years, I, like many others, have been busy surviving, trying to keep my household afloat. So I haven't had much time to research policies and all the reasons that perpetuate housing insecurity. I may know them at a high level, but in this channel, I will explore housing insecurity in an attempt to destigmatize it and foster compassion for those who are experiencing it. I've seen the value of communities coming together and helping others. I want to imagine other Cheryls finding someone who will extend their hand at some point in her story. Whether it is when she's going to school and needs that extra C just to keep her morale up, whether it's to babysit her children for an hour so she can study, or maybe even a friend that can say, I see you, Cheryl, don't give up. Fell asleep. Every Sunday, I'll release a video with information I gather from policies, books, interviews about housing insecurity and other intersecting social issues. If you like this type of content, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.